Alright, guys, I just finished watching X-Men 97 Episode 5, and I gotta say, that was one of the best episodes of television I have ever seen in my life. It had everything: action, drama, romance, suspense. Everything was in this episode. I genuinely think this is one of the greatest episodes of television I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's saying a lot because I have seen a lot of TV. The Rogue and Gambit drama with her basically like choosing Magneto, dancing in front of Gambit, making him feel all disrespected and sad and all that. Just super dramatic, and I loved it. We've got Cyclops and Jean just kind of dealing with where they are in their relationship right now, because he's obviously in love with her, but he's also in love with Madeline, and she's just trying to figure it all out, so that bit of drama was great. And then she ends up kissing Wolverine? What? I was not expecting that. It kind of makes sense because she feels a little disconnected from Scott right now. And then you've got Logan basically offering his heart to her. And, it was nice to see them kiss. I was not expecting it, so my jaw was on the floor when it happened. And who knows, maybe this version of Wolverine ends up being with Jean Grey. And then maybe Cyclops kind of goes rogue and ends up being with Madeline Pryor. Who knows? Another thing I really liked was Cyclops in this episode. He's basically hitting back at humanity because he said he's doing an interview with this broadcaster, and he's basically just saying, I have to prove that I'm a person to you when I've been a person for years and years and years protecting you people. And he's getting disrespected left and right, and he's starting to become a little bit of a villain. I can totally see this show pivoting into a direction where Cyclops ends up becoming a bit of an antagonist for the X-Men and just leaving the team and ends up with Madeline Pryor or something, and that would be really cool, just change of pace, and it would be a really cool arc to explore with Cyclops as well. Now obviously he wouldn't stay bad, but it would just be cool to see that arc develop. Now we gotta talk about Gambit, because this was really his episode, I would say. He's trying to deal with the whole Rogue thing, and Magneto has proposed for Rogue to be his queen, and he's gotta deal with that. Can you imagine the emotional torment this man is going through right now? There is an old man in his 60s who is pulling your girl. What? But it was nice to see him have his hero moment, save the Morlocks, go up against the three-headed Sentinel, which was awesome. Super tragic death for Gambit in this episode. Everyone is freaking out about it online. Now, obviously, I don't think he's going to stay dead, but the emotion that I felt when he died and Rogue is holding him, I was getting a little teary-eyed, I'm not gonna lie, and I was watching this at 5 in the morning, so my brain's not even fully functioning until I get, my second coffee. So the fact that I was watching this and I'm, almost in tears over a cartoon character, that just shows how well-written this series is. I love Gambit, I love Rogue, and when Gambit went down and Rogue, oh my god, when she grabbed him and was able to actually touch him now because he's lifeless, wow, heartbroken. The three-headed Sentinel spider creature thing was also really cool. I'm guessing Mr. Sinister developed that and just launched it at Genosha to take out a bunch of mutants, which, Sentinels were always pretty cool, but a three-headed Sentinel with that much power was just so badass. Even Magneto was completely struggling against this thing, and it just showed its raw power. We also got to see the Watcher in this episode, and whenever the Watcher shows up, something real bad is about to happen. And am I the only one that saw this little silhouette in the clouds but didn't really clue into what it was, so rewinded the episode and paused it, and then I was like, wait, that is the Watcher! Something real bad's about to happen! And then it did. Genosha was absolutely decimated by that Sentinel, and it was just amazing, man. The stakes were there, the suspense, the drama, the action. It was awesome. And the fact that the Watcher was there, maybe, it's going to tie into What If Season 3, because there were some rumors that there's going to be some X-Men related episodes in Season 3, so it would be pretty cool for Jeffrey Wright's Watcher to pop up in this series, because I believe the last few episodes is all about, extinction, so maybe Jeffrey Wright's Watcher shows up and, rescues some mutants or something, I don't know. But the fact that the Watcher was there is huge for this series. Also, going back to Rogue and her heartbreak over Remy's death, definitely mirrored Wanda just grieving over Vision from WandaVision. Like this scene right here, where Vision is just kind of ripped apart and they're doing studies on him and everything, and they both say this line, "I can't feel you." Just, oh my god, my heart. This episode was honestly incredible. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I think this is one of the greatest episodes of television I have ever seen. And I gotta applaud Beau DeMayo, everyone's favorite OnlyFans creator. He has written a fantastic season 1 of this show. I'm sure the quality is going to carry over for season 2, which he also wrote. He was even liking some of my tweets about episode 5, and I'm just glad that he can, enjoy seeing everyone's reaction to this series even though he was fired, It's just nice that he can still appreciate the audience that he wrote this show for. He even said that episode 8, 9, and 10 rival episode 5 in terms of how good these episodes are, which is crazy because I think episode 5 is honestly almost impossible to top, and the fact that he's saying episode 8, 9, and 10 are up there is crazy, and now I can't wait to see the finale for this season. But yeah, guys, I'm going to give episode 5 of X-Men 97 a 10 out of 10. There is no other score I will accept. If you say this is like a 7 or an 8 or even a 9, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. This is peak X-Men, this is peak television, this is peak superhero content. Like, I don't know what else you could possibly want from an episode of TV. You're super happy, then you're sad, then you're heartbroken, then you're crying, then you're smiling. Like, the emotions were flying all over the place during the watch of this episode. Let me know what you guys thought about it down below. I thought it was absolute perfection, and I cannot wait for episode 6 next week. I believe it's going to be Storm and Forge, what that episode focuses on. It's not going to be like a continuation of this story, unfortunately, but the Storm and Forge stuff was pretty interesting to me, so I'm still excited to see that. And like I said a little earlier, I think this whole Genosha genocide thing is gonna be reversed, especially when you have characters like Cable and Forge and everything. I feel like they're just gonna go back in time and just save everyone, but for now, that was a heartbreaking ending to that episode. But yeah, guys, that is over 7 minutes of me just gushing over an episode of television. I absolutely love X-Men 97. It is probably the best Disney Plus show by far. Like, it's not even a competition. There's not even a show that I could think of that even rivals it even closely. Like, this thing blows everything else that Marvel Studios has produced out of the water when it comes to Disney Plus and some of their movies as well. Let me know your thoughts about today's episode down below.